yourself prepared, and the intelligence issue, the information that we are supposed to have. So I would like to start with Mr. Kileo. Once you gather all of that information, how can we connect it with a cyberspace and the issue of economic growth? That is, how can that be translated to the growth of economy, to the issue of creation of job, especially for youth in our country, and how to increase GDP, the issue of how can we foster investment in our cyberspace so that investors will be feeling comfortable to come to invest in Tanzania. You know it very well that we have a 10-year strategy for building our digital economy for our country. Once I've been asked, what's the meaning of digital economy? Of course, in the simplest way, we had analog economy, of which we know it very well, but many activities of analog, now they are going to digital. So as time goes, digital is eating analog economy, and that's where we are going now. So connect to me the issue of intelligence gathering in the issue of the cyber, and all of the factors that I've mentioned. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mosaga, for a very good question. Actually, as I've said earlier, if you look at it in different angles, one, you can look at it, for example, understanding the impact of cyber attacks. You know, if a country understands that cyber attacks has severe impact to our economy, when the system, the one I explained earlier, the system may go down, then people will not be able to transact, people will not be able to communicate, meaning we cannot collect revenue, and then definitely they will definitely need to think of investing heavily on protecting or investing on cybersecurity. Number two, it can, you know, the cyber threat intelligence also touches many things, like introduces many different people with different skills that need to support cybersecurity, or to shape our cybersecurity. So there you have, we may, if an organization start thinking of investing heavily on threat intelligence and put a lot of measures when it comes to cybersecurity, they will think of employing our youth. That will be a job creation. The analysts, the threat hunters, the defenders, and so on. As a country, also the offenders, and so on. So then we have the story of that's the job creation. Then we have the story of we need to have tools. And tools, sometimes we need to localize them. We need to make sure that those tools, we push our youth within our country to come up with solutions. That's when now the innovations come on board. I've seen a young gentleman there the other time spoke of coming up with solution, and I think you awarded him the other day to be a good developer. So those kind of innovations, the youth coming in our country to develop things that will align with our culture, traditions, and so on. That also will be another thing that will boost our economy as well. But also I can go on and on. As I've said, it has a lot of impact to our economy if we do well in cybersecurity. But the bottom line is, if you do not invest on cybersecurity, if you do not have enough intelligence on cybersecurity and do better as what the cyber threat intelligence tells you, then you have the serious implication of it is you can as a country, as an organization, you can end up shutting down the organization. I've seen several organizations being shut down because of it. Some country, their economy, the DGP goes down because of it. We have seen yesterday, and of course it's a global info, $10.5 trillion, the impact of these cyber attacks. So all these, if you connect them together, you will see they have a serious impact on our economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kileo, for that. And Yanni, you presented to us to prepare for an unprepared. And also I want that to connect with the topic of our session of how can that be connected with economic growth, please.
Thank you, DJ. I would say it's a necessity for organizations to be prepared all sort of cyber incidents. So it's not a question of just how to improve the digital economy, it's how to make sure it's possible. So I can give you a couple of examples from Finland where actually Mr. Yusuph just described perfectly. So although Finland is highly digitized and there's a strong digital economy, there have been in a couple of few years huge cases where a particular private companies have had a security issues ended up in massive data breach, which have in fact bankrupted those big companies overnight, basically. So without training, without the organizational capability on how to react, and then when you have a cyber threat, especially if you have a situation which is unknown, you know, you have no idea what is going on, you don't know the implications, and you need to go blind, then it's most important that whether it's a private organization or public organization, it needs to have trained for that. What is the first thing you need to do? And now I'm referring, you were talking about this intelligence before, sort of, but I'm talking about the training in that particular situation. The catastrophe has just hit you. And that can decide the whole future of this company, or even a government organization. There was a huge data breach in the city where I'm coming. That's it's a public information, city of Helsinki, and that is in court. It's going to be in court. That's going to be the biggest data breach case in Finland. So without training, the consequences might be devastating for the digital economic growth. On the other hand, this kind of environment where companies are investing, they can showcase, they can be transparent about how they are training, how they are improving. It's also good for competition. Those companies succeed in Finland. Also, this creates a market for not just for the cyber specialists, security specialists, but it widens the business if you think about training. So there are a lot of possibilities also in the business-wide. And as I said, in Finland, public sector organizations have also adopted this transparency. So they tell publicly about afterwards, not particularly when taking care of that incident, but afterwards they tell publicly. Also companies do that, and they have been rewarded with the more business, with a more better reputation, instead of losing their reputation or clients. So I would like to say that's my take on training and preparing on these incidents and its connectivity and connection to the digital economy.
Thank you very much, Jan, for that. So I'll leave now the space for the our most valuable colleagues who are experts in cybersecurity to give comments or any question to our presenter. Any comments or questions? Yes, there's a hand over there.
Thanks to all presenters to preparing for unprepared. How are you able to conduct the training free? And and to Mr. Yusuph Kileo, I have I don't know if it is a question. I'm grateful for all your effort to help us students pursuing cybersecurity, but I have one more request. I think I want to say we should be having like local certification for students, because you said we have so many students and people can't utilize them, but we have a problem. We don't have, I don't know if we have one, but I think we should be having local certification for cybersecurity, because my course cybersecurity, it's among the the courses at my college that are paying high fees, and then I have to, after graduating, I have to go for some kind of certification, maybe certified ethical hacker, which I have to pay 2.9 M. And maybe most of us won't afford it. And in my class, there are just very few students who are certified. Some of them, they got fund from, they got voucher from TCRA, those who were a winner for Cyber Champion. And most of others, they don't have. So if we could be having local certification for cybersecurity, because some of us we don't even want to work for maybe global institution. We just want to serve our fellow Tanzanians to stay secure. So if we can have Tanzanian certification, it would be easy for us to apply what we learn from school, even if we won't go to, even when we won't get employed in those big companies.
Oh, thank you very much. Other question? Or comments? Esther.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Esther Mengi, and I'd like to say a comment and then pose a question. The panel has been talking about how can cybersecurity bring economic advancements in the country. So my comment is, when we're talking about cybersecurity, is one of the key components of digital trust. Yeah. So for our digital economy to really thrive, there has to be digital trust. The users who are using our platforms need to trust it. So it's not the only component. There's security, privacy, ethics, and others. There are like 5. Cybersecurity being one of them. And I'm glad that Mr. Kileo mentioned about innovation. So from yesterday's presentations and today's presentations, we have seen that there is a growing market for cyber crime. Yeah. So what are we doing as a country to encourage innovation in cybersecurity? We have seen there's so much innovation in fintech, and a lot of push and funds is given to fintech innovators, to edutech, but none to cyber security innovators, which kills even the drive for the developers to come up with a solution that's going to protect our nation, because they feel like there's no value in actually innovating for cybersecurity. So what plans do we have, or what should be done to make sure that innovation in cybersecurity is seen and people are encouraged to innovate, so that we can create a safer space where people are willing to trade and involve themselves more confidently in the digital spaces? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, Jan, you can start. The first question had 2 components. One is for you and one is Mr. Kileo.
Okay, thank you for your question. You were asking about how this ties to preparedness, preparing for unprepared training is for free. This is in Finland. Actually, the whole training was planned as a joint project between a lot of government organizations, but also private sector organizations and non-governmental organizations originally. So it was a cooperation in practice. But what comes to the funding, in Finland this whole preparedness training is seen as a vital part of national security. So this preparedness training every year, which is organized for 1 month in every autumn, it's funded by the government, so it comes from the government budget. But it's not that much actually to organize the actual trainings, because it has been conceptualized, all the tools have been built. What it costs is the time of those people taking part on the training, because it's half a day or 1 day. But I would say we've seen a huge growth in the private sector organizations, big organizations taking part, and they are also ready to cooperate to further develop this, because they can see the benefits for the business. So that's the reason Finland has been doing this. But it's just about the business model. But I think as a nation, it's a very good return of investment for the whole country to run this kind of exercise. And I need to comment back, you're totally right, the trust is in the heart of the digital economy, and part of that is the cybersecurity and also the training and realizing. I fully support the idea of supporting more innovation fundings in the cybersecurity section. I think there's a lot of possibilities. I need to remember this when talking with the EU. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just additional quick question. Can Digital for Tanzania project sponsor something of that sort?
For the innovations from the twinning project?
Yes, from the twinning project.
Unfortunately not, because it's so restricted about for the expertise coming here, but there might be, hopefully in the future, there will be other instruments to support this. That's why I was listening that this could be a very good opportunity to support Tanzania on innovation and on cybersecurity on the private sector.
Mr. Kileo.
Thank you very much. I think I'll respond to two questions. One was about to localize these certifications. Currently, that I'm aware of, we are coming up with a very, very good plan for the cybersecurity individuals within our country. And I think we had a meeting with students here in Arusha. We discussed those matters, and there is something in a pipeline that will come on board. If it goes as planned, this is the story of localizing certifications, embracing our local individuals in the cybersecurity field, and recognizing them, because I think they lack recognition. Most of them, their cry is, we are not really recognized. We can do this and that, but we are not aware. People are not aware of us. So all these challenges will be well resolved. That one I can assure you of it. But number two, what can we do to enhance innovation in the cyberspace? I think if a country, which is now we are heading there, recognize the need of cybersecurity, understand the danger of cyber attack, definitely there will be a huge investment in that area. And definitely we will need a lot of people within the country to come up with different solutions. So we will promote innovation within our country. And when we promote innovation within our country, these individuals now will be able to come up with solution that fits our need. And that's when now the story of cybersecurity within our country will be able to, we will be able to resolve it the way we need it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kileo, for that answers. I want to just reiterate that ICT Commission is registering ICT experts, and we have a database of cybersecurity experts in our database. We ask for others who have not registered themselves. They have to come and register in our database, because our database is the most credible database of all ICT experts in our country. We don't register degrees. We register experts. So any expert can come and register in our database. We want to know all our experts in AI, in cybersecurity, and other places. As we talk now, we have more than 1,500 different experts. So to just complement your answer is, we register them, and by registering us, it means you are free to practice as a cybersecurity experts. Important point that I would like many to understand is, we don't register degrees or masters or PhD. We register experts. So any certification that you do, you come. Once you create your account, you can update it, and you can get the professional points. And those professional points will help you to move from one level to another level. Because we have very few consultants who have reached in the consultant level in our databases. So with that, I thank my presenters for very nice presentation and the articulate answers that you have provided. I thank everyone for listening to the presentation and good question that you have given to our presenter. And with that, I would like to tell Mr. Tumaini that our session has come to end. We can go for lunch, and then we'll continue with other sessions which will follow after lunch. Thank you very much.